Friends, it's day 763 of the unprovoked Russian invasion of Ukraine, and Kremlin keeps trying to resolve the situation caused by its very own failure, when Putin, known as Huilo, completely disregarded the Western warnings about the possible ISIS terrorist attack and as a result had more than 100 civilians slaughtered in Crocus Mall in Moscow. Did he do that on purpose or not? It's a really hard question, but the propagandists these days are showing incredible flexibility trying to tie the ISIS terrorist attack to the US, the UK, and of course Ukraine. They already used all kinds of their influencers on the West to spread bullshit, from military like McGregor to pedophiles like Scott Ritter, and they're pushing these narratives with such an intensity as if their own life depends on it, which I guess is plausible if they have Windows installed in their apartments. The scope of bullshit includes ISIS had connections with Ukrainian government, ISIS troops are fighting in Ukraine against Russians, ISIS was created by the US, the US prepared ISIS attack because the US warned Putin about it. Oh my god, Goebbels is literally crying in his coffin right now, I swear guys, but because none of the bullshit mentioned above seems plausible enough, the Russian propagandists came up with the most unbelievable fake. Those who think that American biolabs and combat genetically modified locusts were not impressive enough, I hope you are prepared for this one. So, the other day, Russian propagandist and ideologist Sergei Markov, in his interview for the Russian business newspaper, suggested that the Ukrainian intelligence used humanoid bio-drones to conduct the terrorist attack in Moscow. According to this individual, so-called secret organizations look for people with mental disabilities and turn them into bio-drones using manipulations, different substances, I don't know, maybe he meant things like voodoo, hypnosis. Anyways, after a short training, and the training is really short according to Markov in this very article, he says that it takes a day to teach a man effectively operate weapons. I spent several years training soldiers as an NCO in the infantry, and I truly admire whatever secret organization capable of training a mentally disabled person to operate small arms like a pro in one day. It's incredible, guys, especially when it's done remotely, because those Tajiks have never been to Ukraine. So, returning to the article, Markov suggests that after a short training, the mentally disabled bio-drones can perform all kinds of tasks, even those involving their own elimination. And according to Markov, it's a new weapon of the 21st century. Couple words about Sergei Markov. He is a Russian political scientist, journalist, former close advisor and supporter of Vladimir Putin. He is a doctor of political science, assistant professor at Moscow State University, professor of political science at the Moscow State Institute of International Relations, and director of the Institute of Political Studies. This legendary and respectable man, in his interview for a legit, serious Russian business media, suggests that Ukrainian intelligence used humanoid, mentally disabled bio-drones. If you have even a tiniest thought that this can be possible, please shut down your computer right now, unplug your cable, close the door and never go outside, because it's dangerous for you. Apparently even a random teenager can trick you into believing whatever he likes and acquire your property. So, the official Russian position, reinforced by the recent statement of the chief of the Russian FSB, is that Jewish President Zelensky, together with ISIS, who hate Jews and Christians, organized this attack, and the only proof they have so far is the fact that the US intelligence warned Putin about a possible terrorist attack. Friends, please let me know in the commentaries your thoughts about this, because I really need a freaking rehab after spending several days reading the Russian bullshit. You know, when I think about the Russian TV, I usually recall tens, if not hundreds, of paranormal TV shows dedicated to ghosts, aliens, secret weapons made by the secret agencies, experiments on humans, and shit like that. And people who are trained to believe bullshit through television are the most dedicated followers of Vladimir Putin. And this is how bio-drones are created every day in Russia, and unfortunately not only there. But to those who truly believes in this, I have a different suggestion. The true bio-drone is Putin himself. The West wants to destroy Russia, right? And that's exactly what Putin does. Invading Europe, sending his troops into a meat grinder, slaughtering hundreds of his own civilians as well as civilians in Ukraine, so Russia will forever drown in poverty, paying reparations for centuries, if not forever. Putin is the real bio-drone of the secret services recruited by the CIA when he served in Germany, and if you support what Putin does, you support the inevitable demise of the beautiful Russian nation. Keep that in mind, my dear cynicists and conspirologists. With that, my friends, I wish you all a beautiful day. I'm Operator Starsky. As always, be safe.